Iran is questioning U.S. motives in the Middle East after the U.S. Secretary of State met allies in Riyadh and Abu Dhabi on building a coalition to deter Iranian threats. The move for a U.S.-led coalition followed last weekend's attack on Saudi Arabian oil facilities.
The U.S. says it's abundantly clear Iran was behind the attacks, but Tehran denies the accusation.
In a Twitter post, Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif talked on his country's ability to safeguard peace in the region by listing 8 diplomatic initiatives it has conducted since 1985.
Details on the U.S.-led coalition are still short, but already the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Britain and Bahrain have said that they will participate.
The U.S. described the proposed coalition as an act of diplomacy, while Iran reiterated that it would not hesitate to respond with force
if it had to fend off any U.S. or Saudi military strike. Now, for more on this, our correspondent Hanieh Sadat Jafarieh joins us live from Tehran. Hanieh, what has been the official response in Iran to the U.S.-led coalition?
As you referred, Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif today presented the world and the Americans 8 of the Iranian diplomatic initiatives that Iran has put forward since 2 decades or 3 decades ago. And he has underlined that it is the B team who wants war, not Iran. Iran, as he says, is a peace seeker who wants stability in the region and will preserve the rights of all the Islamic countries in the region. And as Arif said, Iran is not at all a fan of war.
And why is Tehran sort of coming out so strongly with its language?
Because we have started a war of rhetorics, and talking about such things is very difficult. Iran is just trying to protect its interests, especially its economic interests, and it wants to prove that, to show the whole world that it is not a warmonger country, as the U.S. says. And of course, about the recent events about the Saudi Arabia oil facilities, Iran underscores that it has not had any role in those strikes.
Well, speaking of all that, then, do you think then that the U.S. is getting dragged into a war in the Middle East?
The question is that if Trump can rally allies to counter Iran. As you said, Saudi Arabia and the Emirates have announced their readiness for that. But about other countries, because the U.S. could not provide a solid and positive proof about its claim against Iran. Other countries seem doubtful about that.
Yeah, so what do you think then will be Iran's foreign affairs minister's strategy then if he attends the General Assembly in New York next week?
Today, Zarif left Tehran for New York, and he's going to attend the event. And for sure, Iran is not going to back down at all, and it will preserve all the stances that it has had till the day present.
Hanieh, tell us what are the Iranian people saying about these latest happenings and situations?
Iranians have heard Trump about when he says that he considers Iranians. But what we Iranians see in reality is that he's focused on an economic blockade against us, against Iranians, which will damage the common people, the cancer patients, or the normal lives of people here. What Trump says is exactly in contrast with what he is doing, and that's what we Iranians see here.
Okay, thank you very much for that. We've been speaking with Hanieh Sadat Jafarieh from Tehran.